Hey guys, Coach Samer coming at you live. It's Monday, March 4th, 2024, and today, smashing legs. All right, guys, so to start you off with today, we have leg primer C. You're going to be hitting a variety of dynamic movements, some isometric holds. We got some over-unders, some single leg contralateral deadlifts, some glute bridge isometric holds, some banded lateral steps, and then finishing off with some goblet, kettlebell, or dumbbell loaded Kang squats. So this is a really great warm up to really light up your hips, your backside, and really get you primed for the day. So to start with today, we're going to be doing our butt stuff burner, which is going to be 3 sets of 15 dumbbell RDLs against bands, 15 banded step ups each leg with a heavy band into 20 banded good mornings. So let's talk about this a little bit. So for the dumbbell RDLs against bands, the best way you can accomplish this is to take, a light to a medium band, place them around the handles of each of the dumbbells, stand on the band, and then from there you can perform your RDLs, really focusing on pushing your hips backwards to really get a good stretch into your hamstrings. And on these RDLs, just like any other form of RDL, whether it's a barbell or a landmine RDL, you really want to focus on only going down low enough to where your postural integrity is sound, meaning you're not having a type of curve in your upper back or your lower back. So for some people that might be lower. So for some people that might be higher. But the goal of the movement is to load your hamstrings. So, really try to push your hips backwards as you descend and try to feel that, good stretch in your hamstring. So, all right, moving on for the banded step ups. So for these banded step ups, the height of the box is really going to be dependent on your personal limb length. So a general rule of thumb is you want to have at least a 90-degree angle with your hip and your shin, depending on the height of the box you're standing on. And so for some people, that might be anywhere from like 14 to 18 inches. And some people that might be 18 to 24 inches. It's all depending on your height and limb length. Don't feel like you have to pick a particular box height. You need to do what's comfortable for you that you can produce the most power, stability, and balance from and get a good stimulus from. And then the banded good mornings, take that heavy band, put it around the back of your neck, and then from there, grasp the band around each of the sides there. And then similar to the RDL, you're going to want to push your hips backwards and then lower your torso until you feel a good stretch in your hamstring. So we're going to do that for 3 sets, and we're going to be resting 60 seconds, so just 1 minute between those 3 sets. So be mindful of the loading on the dumbbell RDLs because that's going to creep up on you pretty quick with the compounding fatigue. All right, guys, now moving on to our heavy mechanical loading movement of the day. It's going to be box squats. Now for this, it's going to be 4 sets of 5 reps going from an RPE 7 to an RPE 10 with your 5th set of max reps at 70% of your top set from set 4. So for this, if you're going to perform a traditional box squat, utilize, you can do a high bar or a low bar squat. Traditionally, box squats are generally done with a low bar, a low bar squat. And if that's not something you're comfortable with, feel free to either do a high bar squat or you can do a safety squat bar for the box squat. Now, for the height of the box, similar to the step up, you're going to want to test out the height of the box to make sure that you're cracking parallel. You're not going too low to where you lose the ability to control your descent, slid in the box and come back up again, or you're going too high to where you're not, recruiting the right amount of musculature for the range of motion we're looking for here. So play around the depth a little bit, but again, you can stack some plates, you can use a box or a bench. It all depends on your limb height, but maybe take a video of yourself or have a buddy watch your angle of your hip crease as you're descending onto that box. So, alternatively, you can also perform this on a leg press with your feet high and wide on the leg press platform there. And we're going to be doubling the reps on that leg press to about 10 reps. So again, building up across 4 sets with a controlled descent and a slight little pause, rock back, stand up on the box there for a top set of 5. And then going into max reps at 70% with no tempo. And on that, please go ahead and terminate or stop your set when you start having to pause at the top. We really want to introduce some metabolic stress in that set 5 there with the max reps. All right, so moving on into our metabolic stress targeted work of the day is going to be landmine, hack squats, pulse sets. So for this movement, you're going to be performing two feeder sets of 10 reps, which are feeder sets are meant for you to feel a little bit of load. Feel free to load those up, a little bit heavier because the last two sets are going to be really metabolically taxing. It's going to be 75 repetitions per set where we're going to do 5 full reps with a regular shoulder width stance immediately into 10 pulse reps at parallel 5 times through. So that's going to be 5 full reps and the 10 pulse reps going from just below parallel to just above parallel, which is really going to be placing a lot of tension and stress on your quadriceps, your glutes, and your hamstrings to be able to maintain, that rep range for all 75 reps. And make sure you pick a light load to start with, so that way you're not taking too many breaks in between. We really want you to move throughout this entire set. For setup for this movement, you can stick your barbell into a corner. You can use a post landmine that's put in some plates, the one that's attached to your rack. You can also sub a Smith machine variant of a hack squat, or the hack squat machine itself as some alternatives for loading this movement. And then finally, we're going to finish with a pretty nasty finisher. This is going to be 3 sets of supersets where you're going to be performing repetitions of a dumbbell hip thrust into a drop set of Bulgarian split squats. So across 3 sets, you're going to go from 15, 12, and 10 on the dumbbell hip thrust with a 1-second pause at the top. And after each of those sets, you're going to go into 15 single dumbbell loaded Bulgarian split squats, immediately dropping the weight into 15 unloaded or body weight, and then you're going to switch legs. So you're doing 30 total Bulgarian split squats per leg per set. So this is really going to cash you guys out at the end. And, be careful in the loading of this as well, because the compounding fatigue of those Bulgarian split squats is going to catch up to you pretty quickly. So start with a little bit of a lighter dumbbell than you think, and then add load from there if you have some capacity left over. All right, guys. Then we have our conditioning options for the day. For a CrossFit workout, we have Helen. You have some ball slams and farmer's walks for our grunt work option. And then you have some bike intervals every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. You have the opportunity to do 10 calories in the bike as hard as possible, and then you rest the duration of the minute. And then we have some optional core work or optional Thunder Broga. And if you guys are in our 30-day shred group, make sure you're hitting your your fasted cardio depletion work. In the mornings, you're doing your check-ins in the 30-day shred group. Please post your questions, comments, concerns in our Thunderbow Family Facebook group. If you guys aren't on there, go ahead and search Thunderbow Family on Facebook, add yourself, and we'll get the admins to add you in there. There's a wealth of knowledge and opportunity to develop community and to understand how other people are executing the program, and just to, bond with other people doing this program. If you guys are on Train Heroic, please feel free to hit me up, Coach Sam, direct message me. If you're on Beyond the Whiteboard, hit up Coach Kenny. All right, guys, have a great leg day.